Welcome to Season 3 of the Biz Show, sponsored by Invest Choir. Discover what's next with this insightful podcast. And now, your hosts, Barry and Lisa.
Hi, Barry.
Lisa, how you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. It has been a busy week this week.
Well, it went by really fast, for sure.
Yeah, it did. To me, right now, it feels like it's Wednesday, maybe. Just because there's been so much packed into it, and I've just been go.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement going on. We're trying to all hustle and bustle before the holidays.
Yeah, that's the thing. Let's just talk about that for a second. By the way, everybody, welcome to the Biz Show.
I know. Yeah, thanks for being so loyal to us and listening every week. We love doing the show and we love having you.
Right. So just a reminder, Lisa said it, the holidays are coming up, right? So next week is October. And typically October, November, and December, everything slows to a crawl because everybody's now focusing on family and the holidays. So with that, if you've got deals on the table or you're trying to last push to get things sold, now's the time to do it.
That's right. Everybody is trying to achieve those goals and make their investments and close out their books for the end of the year so their tax situation looks pretty, right?
Yes, exactly.
By 2026.
Well, shall we jump into this podcast?
Yeah, it's kind of a takeoff from last week's, right, Barry? We did a
Negotiations.
subject.
Yeah. So today, as a recommendation from you, let's jump into the 10 most common objections to a negotiation, right?
Yeah, we're just going to hit about 10 of them, right? We're going to cover 10 oppositions that a client may bring up to you when you're trying to negotiate or close the deal. So we have some quick counters that you may be able to say to them to achieve the goal of the sale, right?
Right. And just a note here, study these and practice these ahead of time so that when you do use these, it comes off as natural. Yes. Not, like scrambling or stuttering
You don't want to
whatever,
stutter.
yeah, definitely don't want to do that.
Confidence is key, most
So,
definitely.
so these are the top 10 reasons that people, typically will counter or say no or whatever the case might be. So the first one is probably the big elephant in the room all the single time is what?
They don't want to pay the price, right?
Too expensive.
It's
Yeah.
too expensive. So what do you say? Do you say, okay, thanks for letting me know. Bye.
Yeah, no. So let me preface this. I've always used this and negotiations as a learning exercise, right?
Ask questions.
Yes, ask questions so you can better understand the psychology of the person that you're working with or against or whatever the case might be. So when they come up and they say, "Hey, this is too expensive," right? Um, really, so most people, if you narrow it down, they're looking at, it's too expensive. They're looking at they don't want to avoid or they're avoiding any losses, right? It's costing them money.
Yeah, they don't want to give it up. They don't want to give up what they have in their piggy bank because they think they're not going to have anything after that and they're going to be ending up with zero. So what is the trick there? I mean, the key is to point out the gain.
Right. It's pointing out the ROI, right? What is the return on investment? That's what ROI stands for, people. Return on investment. I just had to explain that to somebody the other day.
Some of you may even point out the fear factor around that. Like if they did not pull the trigger and buy it now, it would cost them more later. So they'd be actually losing more if they waited.
Right. And how do you frame that? Well, you can frame it by, look, how about we hit, say, $10,000 in 2 weeks, right? Or something like that, right? You're putting a number to it, right? And that's a number they can then think about, oh, hey, I can put that in my bank account.
Yes.
Right? Versus, okay, it's going to cost them $2,500 to implement this, but in turn, they're going to get, something back.
Yes, definitely. A lot of
So
people like to use analogies too, or maybe real examples and point out something that, maybe they could use their house, for example. Like if when they bought the home 10 years ago, they paid this price, but what is it worth today? It's worth, triple that. So this is the same, you're showing them that the result could be similar in what they're, countering you with today.
yes, this
Hmm.
this next one I've used it many, many, many times. Matter of fact, just recently, right? And they're like, "Well, we don't have the budget for this right now."
Right.
I'm like, "Okay, so why?" Well, they don't have the funds allocated for this, right?
They didn't
Or
plan on spending the money,
yeah,
right?
exactly, exactly. They didn't plan it. It's not in their budget. So, what are the trade-offs, right? And everything. So typically how I counter this is I explore other structures like, well, hey, how about we break this into stages? And this month we do this, next month we do that, and next month we do that. And then we can break it down into smaller chunks that are more manageable for your budget.
And to help them ease into that decision of saying yes.
Yeah.
You're showing them a way that it can be done.
Yeah, I mean, we
Mhm.
have to deal with one of our companies that we're selling just recently, where there was some seller financing involved, or that was one of the creative solutions is to get this sell done, some seller financing and stuff like that.
So we gave some options, right? A
We
two
gave the
year,
options.
a
Yeah,
2 year note versus a 3 year note.
yeah,
Yeah, so there's always a way to get it done, and that's where we come in to help provide the strategy.
right,
So if
right.
you need us at the time of negotiations, please give us a shout. We'd love to help you structure some creative re- ways to make the deal happen.
Yes, exactly. That's what we're here for. Um,
I love when the client, number three is good because the clients always say, "Oh, I need to run this by my boss," or it could be spouse, partner, or what have you. But that's always their way of getting out of saying yes because they say, "Oh, I need the approval of so and so," right? Well, why isn't
right.
so and so at the meeting, first of all of you should not be scheduling meetings that require a decision without the decision maker, number one.
Well, we said this last episode, right? If you don't have the decision maker in the room, you've already lost the negotiation
Correct.
because no deal is going to get done,
Right.
right?
It's a
So,
dead deal.
so typically, if that's the case, I stop negotiations at that point and just say, look, who do we need in the room? Who's going to be the people that need to see this, and who's the one that can say yes?
Yeah, exactly. And can we include them on a call right now?
Yeah, I'll still go over the items that we were going to go over, but in my mind, the negotiations have stopped. It's just a meeting with the client to discuss further, task or whatever might be, but it's not really in a negotiation in my frame of mind anymore.
Right.
So, but that's the thing. If the decision maker is not there, then there's no negotiation going on. And you're right, Lisa. A lot of times people, this is their go-to to get out.
Yeah. They really are just appeasing you, I think, at this point. And they know that they don't have the authority, and so they're just sort of like letting you do your spiel with every intention of not, it's sort of like when you go to a timeshare presentation and you don't have any intention on buying.
Yeah.
Um,
You just want that free room and dinner or whatever, right?
yeah, you just want the perks.
Right. So, I've been in these meetings before, and so typically, what I'll do at the beginning is I'll have the meeting with the client, and I get it, and I've been there on the other side myself as the vice president or the CEO of the company, and have my staff manage it to a certain point, work out all the details and stuff like that, then get me involved. And I'll actually preface that right at the very first meeting if the decision maker's not there. Okay,
Yeah,
so here's this. Let's frame it as this is what we're doing. We'll come up with all the task and all the project scope that needs to be done. Here's the price for that. And do we need to do option, one, two, three, or is just one is fine? And then we'll find it. And then we'll schedule a second meeting with the decision maker.
that's right. Yeah, get that appointment for sure. I mean, don't give up there. Definitely want to follow up.
Yes, definitely.
Hmm.
So the fourth one is an interesting one, right? We're happy with the solution we got.
Yeah, we don't need what you're selling, right? They just want to stay with what they have and not make any changes because maybe change is fearful for them. They think they're going to have to adapt to a new business model or systems, and so they're afraid to take that on.
Yeah, and because there's inherently pitfalls in new projects and change coming from one system to another
Yeah,
system or whatever the case might be. There's failure points, there's new learning curves and all that other stuff. So
that's
what
when Barry that's when Barry says, "How do you know what you don't know what you don't know?"
if you don't know, right? Yeah, exactly. And,
You
and the
might want
thing
to
is,
find out. Yeah.
I always go with instead, well, what is the cost of doing nothing? And maybe you have a, let's just say, CRM package, right? And it does this.
Yeah.
And then for instance, I'll use us as an example, right? We originally started out with Zoho CRM. And halfway through, I moved us over to HubSpot because HubSpot had a bunch more bells and whistles, interactions that Zoho, I like the interface of Zoho, really nice. It's easy to use. And HubSpot's a little bit more cumbersome and hard to figure out, but it does a whole lot more.
Yeah. So
So
there's a learning curve, but you know, that's how you could show them the ways or offer them some ideas of how to streamline that process and maybe give them a discount on it because to allow for that lag time of training.
yeah, it could be. And the other thing is definitely talk dollars, right? So dollars speak. And
Yes.
so if you're talking dollars and you're telling them, well, how much money are you losing in, a quarter, uh, 6 months or a year? And, this can help you gain all that back. Again, it
Mhm.
goes back to ROI, right? The very first item in there, uh,
Yeah. Show
showing
them
them,
the
yeah.
gain. Yeah, definitely. They may have to invest the time now, but they're going to actually gain more time by having maybe more efficient systems or whatever the product is that you're providing.
Yes, 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 yes. So the fifth objection they have typically is, I'm not convinced this is going to work.
Right. They're doubting. They're doubting the product. They don't have any evidence that it's going to work for them. Right.
Yep.
So they're like, I might lose my money and lose time and lose everything. So how do you get them to be convinced?
Well, proof points, right? Pilots. I
Demos?
have in the past done a pilot program. Let's put this in
Yeah.
for 30 days, check it out and play it. And here's the deal. If you can get a pilot program in, whether it's 30 days, 60 days, 14 days, whatever, um, you're really really off to the ball game there in the sense that chances are once they start using it, they're not going to want to give it up.
They're going to love it.
They're-
Exactly.
yeah, if it's good and does what it's supposed to do, they are going to love it, and now they don't want you to take it away from them.
Right. They
Right,
become they've
that's just
become
human
married to it and they're
behavior.
like,
No,
I
this is
don't
mine now, it's
right.
mine.
And then you pretty much, yeah, you can that's when you have a leverage.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Typically, 30-day pilot program, put some SLAs in place, service level agreements, right? And if you
Yep.
got some case studies to throw out there from other clients or something like that, those are all going to help convince them. But
Yeah.
the biggest one is a pilot program. If you got that, do it.
Right. How many times have you, I don't know, we've probably purchased mattresses for our homes, like maybe two, three times, over the last 20 years. But, um, they say, oh, money back guarantee, try it for 30 days. If you're not sleeping well, you can return the mattress. Well, who, who
Have
does
Have you
that? I
ever
mean,
returned your mattress?
I've never, I mean, I may not love my mattress, but I don't go through the hassle of returning it. You just don't, you know.
Here's a story. Here we go. Um, we stayed, Tammy and I, we went to Monterey years back in Cannery Row, and we stayed in the Spindrift Inn, which
I
is
know that place. Yep.
right on the water.
Hmm.
And oh my God, the best mattress in the world was in that room.
Oh, really?
Oh, I've never ever slept so well, like just like a little baby, man. Poof, out. And then to get up, I slept for hours. I'm like, what? It was great. I've never been able to duplicate that mattress. I told Tammy, we need to go back there just so I can look at the tag of that mattress and
Oh,
see what the hell
I
it
thought you
is.
were going to say that you looked at the tag and you bought one.
I didn't think about it back then. It was a long
Yeah.
time ago, but so, we have bought a mattress maybe about 3 years ago. One of the newer ones that, you buy it in a box and it pops out and away you go. We just bought a new one 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I
You
do like this one.
do you
This one,
like it?
yeah, I was
Yeah.
surprised. This is I'm not going to advertise names here, but it's
Right.
a lot better than the first one. We liked the first one. It was good.
Yeah.
This one's even better. So,
Yeah. I'm a little picky when it comes to pillows. So when I go to hotels and I love my pillow, I'm like looking at the tag and I'm like, oh, I need to buy this pillow.
there you go.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah, so what's next? We are talking about, oh yeah.
Number six.
Yeah, so six is, oh my gosh, it's all about timing. I can't do this right now. It's not a good time. So when can you do it? When is a
Well,
good time?
yeah, when is a good time? Well, first of all, we mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, right? Timing is becoming very short in the next 3 months here, right? Because of the
Yeah.
holidays. So,
So point out the money aspect of it, right? If they
right.
weren't going to do it now, what are they losing in money later? Could they take a write-off if they buy it before the end of 2025? Point out all the positive aspects of them pulling the trigger or making the decision right now.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Mhm.
So, that's all you really can do on this particular one, right? Is just like try to figure out, how we can work it out with them.
Yeah, argue both sides. If they were to stay put and did not do anything now, argue that. What does that look like? Versus if they were to do it, is there more gain? Maybe just need to lay it out, in black and white and write out the pros and cons of them making the decision now versus later.
Yeah, definitely. I try, so people say, well, here, let me do this. I'll give it to you. You take a look at it and get back to me. Don't do that.
Yeah.
They're never going to get back to you, right?
No, yeah. I mean,
I
sketch
mean,
it
you
out. Some
you
people
got a
are not.
5% chance of them getting back to you. Sketch it out. If you have to leave, follow up, right? That's
Yeah,
probably most entrepreneurs and business owners and CEOs, Achilles heel, follow up.
it is. There's a lack of follow-up for sure. Yes, and then the interest level goes down, way down, right?
It does. Time is not on your side, right?
No, timing is everything.
It is. So here's another one, and I've seen this many times, including restaurants and stuff like that. But the competitor's cheaper than you. Why should I use you? And they have these features, by the way,
Right.
right?
They're comparing, comparative
They are
shopping.
comparing, and they're looking for leverage on you,
They want the same rate. They want you to come down in price.
right?
And some companies do matching. They do price matching.
They do.
If they,
Target does that, right?
yeah, if you bring in an ad or something, they'll match the price.
Yeah,
So that's always a great business tactic. But that's really when you spell out your value proposition, like what are you bringing to the table? What is extra that maybe the other company doesn't do just because they state that they have, you know, a couple extra perks or things on their side, but show them really in detail what you are providing.
that
I
is a
always
pro.
say,
That's a
yeah,
pro tip from Lisa, there, guys. Right?
I always say money, you pay for what you get. So if
You
you're going to be
do.
discounting your price on this product or this service,
Hmm.
then you're probably going to get that level of service. Or maybe
Right.
the product won't even last you as long. So,
True. And we talked about this one a little bit last week's podcast in the sense, well, okay, then if everything was set equal, and what would be the trade? What can we trade off? And in the scope of works or the term or whatever case might be. But don't shortchange yourself. Don't give discounts willy-nilly, right? If you're going
right.
to discount it, pull a server off, pull some type of a service or a function off with it, right?
True. Yep.
So that way it's still equal. I worked with a company a few years back. Um, Worked with a restaurant business. They never gave discounts on anything, right?
Right.
There are no discounts for nothing, no senior discount, no military discount, no
Nothing.
discounts.
Yep.
And because they felt the value, it degraded the value.
Exactly. I mean, when I was a rookie, I was giving discounts. I was, paying for clients' warranties or things like that for them as part of the transaction. And then as you become more confident in your services and have more experience, you stop doing that. You stop giving the discounts. You know that your services and your expertise are worth something. So I think if you portray that confidence in the sales pitch, then I think that's when they're going to really see the value and be willing and excited to pay extra.
Right. I ran into this last night. This next one is the contract terms worry us, right? You want
Oh,
me to
yeah.
sign on the bottom line, but I don't like some of the verbiage in that contract, right?
Oh, okay. So then you ask questions like, what about it worries you?
Yeah,
Why does it
exactly.
worry you?
Yeah. Some of it, this particular case was an insurance thing that was the culprit. Insurance company was forcing some verbiage, and we just weren't going to go for that.
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, so they can come back and say, and we've had them done it on our contracts in the past or other customers' contracts where I like this, but let's remodel this paragraph.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You
Right,
can always maybe restructure the verbiage so that it's a win-win for both sides.
right, right.
Hmm.
Just find out what is bugging them the most, right?
Right.
What's the most problematic, and then if you can and you're willing, make those changes. Don't let that get in your way of selling the business, provided it's not a game changer, right?
Exactly. And keep the focus on the end goal, right? Don't get caught
Right.
up in the context of what they're complaining about. Just always focus on the gain and what the positives are of the whole entire transaction.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
reframe it, take their mind off of those little minutia items, and always keep plugging the positives.
One of the things that is changed drastically over the years is the legal verbiage and stuff, right? Back in the day, um, there was no such thing as mediate. Well, there was, but mediation or wasn't a big deal. But now, arbitration, right? So if you look at almost any contract says, there will be no court or civil cases. It's all arbitration, meaning you're going to bring a mediator in and you're going to negotiate between the two of you. You are not going to court and you're not allowed to sue them.
Mm.
So that's standard now, but 10 years ago, that was a game changer, right? A lot of
Yeah.
people were like, no, forget it. I'm not, I might sue you. So I'm not signing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Right.
But that
Yeah.
was also a employment labor contract in a lot of companies were putting in their hire agreements.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So just, things change. And
Yeah.
if you can change it and it's a no-brainer, change it.
I mean, or do your job and just, reassure them, take their mind off the worry and on to moving forward.
Yeah. The next
Sometimes
one,
people just need a little reassurance.
a slap on the back, right? A real nice hard one. No.
That's when you put the pen in their hand. No.
Yeah, there you go. So the next one basically we kind of talked about already up above, but this is the implementation could be a headache, right?
Yes, they just don't want to invest the time in the training. I mean, I am notorious for saying no because I don't want to have to invest any more time that I don't have in implementing new systems.
Yeah, well, there's always a cost associated with that, and that cost typically is time and a learning curve, right?
And get around that opposition, like say, oh, well, who is your right arm? Who's next in charge?
Yeah.
Maybe delegate the implementation of that product or system to somebody on your team. And then
I've done
that
that.
person could do the
I've done
training.
that many times. I've said, okay, look, you're in charge of this project. This is your baby now.
Yeah.
You need to white glove this thing. You need to be the person that takes this over the goal line. I expect you to talk to the customer every single day, right? We're communicating, communicating, communicating
Yes.
on projects and stuff like that, right? Because
Right.
if you don't communicate, well, then people's minds start to think bad things.
Exactly.
So
Yes, stay on top of that for sure.
definitely.
And do check-ins. Yeah.
Yeah, check in, and whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly, it kind of depends on the project and stuff like that. But I've had bid projects where we, back when I was at GE, we did a whole implementation of Wells Fargo's computer systems, world or nationwide in the entire United States.
Oh,
Millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in equipment and stuff like that. And I had fly teams all over the place. We were
right.
doing Boise, Idaho at the same time we were doing Tampa, Florida, and New York City. So I
Yeah.
had like four teams flying around the country doing stuff. I per se couldn't do all this, but I did appoint a project manager to oversee this, and then they had a team of lower project managers that were
Yes.
managing each team, and then they were the main project managers. Every day they
Right.
were on the phone with customers.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to delegate it. You can't do it all. And so it really is a time where you can impress the customer too, because you're able to bring in a team like that to help transition the process and make it really, easy for them.
Yes.
That's key, right? Then you'll get referrals.
Hopefully so. I mean, do your job, do it well, or
Yep.
don't do it at all, right?
I know some people just want to make the sale and then you can't find them. Where did they go? Oh my gosh, they're not calling me back. That's awful service, so don't be one of those types of
Yes.
businesses.
And number 10, the last one we'll talk about today, basically, is I'm not sure this is actually going to solve my problem.
Right. They think it's a mismatch. They don't need it. And you need to really like find out what their motivational hot buttons are and you need to speak to those quick.
Yes, you do.
Right.
The best thing you can do is re-diagnose collaboratively with the customer. Sit down again, paper and pencil, and knock out, what the scope is and what are the constraints. And then maybe you need to put KPIs in place, right? KPI is a key performance indicator.
Mm-hmm.
So those are goals, right? And so this is what's a success, this is what's a failure. It could be as simple as on or off. It could be a scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who knows? That's up for you guys to decide, but figure out what's fair.
Yes, absolutely.
But don't let this sit. Do it, do it immediately.
Oh, yeah. Show them that you have a solution or you're matching what their needs are to what your product offers.
Yeah. You know, um, we all have product, right? Whether it's a service, whether it's an actual product, we all perform some type of a service for our customers. And you just got to make sure that that has a value to them. But here's the deal. And I've learned this, and I think I said this last week too. Learn their pain points and
Yeah.
what frustrates them. And then if you can take all those off of their plate, chances are real good you're going to close your deal because
Yeah,
they're getting rid of all
definitely.
their headaches. You're taking them
Yeah.
on,
This
right?
is the time to really like dive deep and explore with them what works and what's not working.
Right.
Even if it has nothing to do with what you're trying to sell them, it's a really great time to really get to know your customer. And even if you were to refer them to another, company that may provide them what they actually need, I mean, they're going to always remember that you did not try to just sell them on what you have, but you're actually there to help them.
You are, I mean, let's face it. We all need money. We need to make money and stuff like that. But I know for you and myself, Lisa, it's more about the customer and providing a service that the customer wants and needs.
Yes, exactly. And objections actually help you as a business owner, like sharpen your skills, sharpen your values of what you're providing. That's a
Yeah.
chance to really shine. And I think it's a great thing for you to grow in your presentations and your closing skills and handling objections. So treat them with like welcome them. Don't be afraid of the objections at all.
Yeah, I use them as I said as learning experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then data points for later on down the road.
Yes.
And as far as objections and stuff like that, you might have your own objections in your head, right? And we talked about this again last week, imposter syndrome and not having or feeling you're worthy enough or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, and that's so huge. And we're going to talk about that next week because going into the meeting with a positive mindset and the intention of the goal that you're trying to achieve is maybe more than 50% of you getting a deal done.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to talk about that next week. We have a lady named Harmony coming on. She has experience in coaching, productivity in business, and also in relationships,
Relationships. Yeah.
and
Relationship.
how to like fully show up so that you can be the most effective. So we're
Yes.
excited to have her next week. I hope you all will tune in. But in the
Yes.
meantime, make it a great week.
Make it a great week. Don't forget, if you have questions or if you got some suggestions for this show, let Lisa or myself know. You can reach us at investquire.com. As well, we have a Facebook page, The Biz Show. You can
That's
catch
right.
us there, and we'd be happy to talk to you.
Yeah, we'd love to help you guys out with any of your objections that you're facing.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, have a great day.
Make it a great day. Bye. Thanks for listening. And don't forget to hit the sponsor button. I'm
Yes.
sorry, the subscribe button.
Either way. Yeah, you can sponsor us
You
too
can
if you want.
sponsor
We'll
us
take
too.
that. Yeah. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Biz Show podcast. Subscribe to stay updated and follow Barry and Lisa on Facebook at The Biz Show. Share your comments or suggest specific business topics you'd like to hear. Bye!